So where can they get the song?
So the song can be heard on all platforms. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on Amazon Music. It's pretty much everywhere. We're also gonna be. It's
Under
also
your name or Four Moons of Jupiter?
4 Moons of Jupiter.
Four Moons of Jupiter.
Yes. I guess we need another interview. We're just gonna repeat.
No, trust me, nobody's gonna go. Oh, she doesn't know her train? She doesn't know her train songs? Okay, I'm not checking this out. Nobody's gonna do that. Don't worry.
That's true.
The song, we screened it earlier. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us about it.
Yes.
You know, don't tell us about it. Tell them about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where they can get it.
I guess we need another interview. We're just gonna repeat.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Podcaster Comedy. We got a brand new video dropping right about now. It's going to be a great one. I am Joe King, along with
Paul, I'm Paul Stapfer. Hey, everyone.
and our guest today is Jenni from the 4 Moons of Jupiter.
Hey, Four Moons of Jupiter. Jenni Heaven?
Yes.
That's stage name, I'm guessing.
Yes, of course.
That's a great rock star name.
It is a very good rock star name.
Thank you. I've actually had that nickname since I was in high school. Or
Okay.
actually, no, middle school is when I came up with it. I was like, that's going to be my stage name when I do music.
Jenni Heaven.
So, and it stuck, and I liked it, and ever since then, and even for a while, a lot of people thought that was my real name. I was like, no.
So is that when all this kind of started? Like when you were first inspired to get into, like, be a performer? Was middle school or?
Well, it's hard to say. I've always loved performing since I was a kid.
Okay.
And so, of course, when you're a kid, you go through all of the stages where, oh, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a dentist. I want to be a marine biologist back in the 90s when all millennials were obsessed with dolphins.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, you realize that I always enjoyed entertaining. And so back in elementary, I sang in the choir for school competitions, singing the national anthem.
Okay.
And in middle school, I tried to start a band, and that was not very successful because we could never find a drummer until I moved to Canada. Then you find all of the drummers. It was quite frustrating.
All you got to do is check your couch. They're probably sleeping there.
Yeah, seriously, I had to do
If
that.
you ever want to find a drummer, just go find a couch.
Yes, we just had I had terrible luck back in Mexico. I don't know what it was.
Is that where you're from originally?
Yes.
Where
So,
exactly?
I'm from Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, which is a border town with El Paso, Texas.
Yep.
Not a place to
Okay.
visit at the moment.
Yeah,
Of
sure.
course, I don't know if it will ever change. Hopefully it does. And so that's where I grew up.
You grew up there.
And so, no, anyways, back to middle school, I started to pick up bass when I was in middle school. I was very curious about instrument. That's when I started to gain curiosity on instruments. My dad taught me just chords on guitar as well. He tried to get me into piano, but I was not interested at the time. And so that's when I started to slowly develop some musical interest. And back in middle school, I was more interested in music like metal, such as Guns N' Roses, Ozzy Osbourne, all the classics, right? And
You're my type of wheelhouse.
Yeah.
so that's what I kind of grew up with, which is really interesting. And so, especially because my family never grew up with that music. They grew up with, disco, like Bee Gees. They grew up listening to the Beatles, the Eagles. Well, the Eagles could still fall into that, right? But they listened to Earth, Wind, and I don't know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, right? And so all of the dancing music, because my parents were dancers. That's how they met.
That sounds like the disco age, basically.
The disco age, yes. But they listened to a whole variety of music, not just disco. And so in my rebel phase, I was like, forget it. That music sucks. Oh my God, terrible to say that. Now it's like, oh, that was great music. But I was really focused on heavy metal at the time. Cool. Then I moved to Canada. It's Mexico. I moved to Canada. And that's when I just took a break of the idea of doing a band. And so that's when I was really involved with church. I was very involved in high school in music programs like choir, vocal jazz, later on concert band, playing percussion, then the flute, and musical theater. I love musical theater.
Wow. So how many instruments do you play altogether then?
Mediocrity, honestly. I learned to play bass, so I have an idea of how to play bass. And I used to play bass in church. I play guitar, I play piano, I play flute, and percussion instruments. Not the drums, percussion
So
instruments.
you could do a whole Jethro Tull album if
Yes,
you wanted to, basically.
I could,
with the
but
flute thrown in there.
yes, it would be a very mediocre level because I haven't played consistently in such a long time, except for singing. That's
Right.
been my focus, of course. Recently, I started to pick up guitar a little bit because we just want to have that fuller sound with the band, and having an extra acoustic or backup electric would be beneficial,
Right.
right?
So what would you say is the weirdest song you've ever played on stage that wouldn't fit into the normal categories of what you play with the
And
band?
that's what I've got a kind of precursor question to that. What kind of music do you play? Like, what's your sort of stage show like?
Yeah.
You know, what's your sort of genre? And do
Yeah.
you do covers, or do you kind of mix it up with originals?
That's a lot of questions in one.
I know.
We'll
It's kind of like curiosity.
We'll get into
Yeah.
this, but you have an original album.
Yeah,
coming out.
well, we have an original song that we
Okay.
just released. But to answer all your questions, we are a multi-genre party band. So we
Okay.
don't limit ourselves to just one genre.
Party band.
Yes, we're very much a party band. So we
Okay.
play classic hits from the 70s to today's chart toppers in genres like pop, rock, funk, Latin, country, R&B. Eventually, I would love to do jazz, but that's far into the future.
So you're doing whatever you like.
Yes,
Whatever
and-
whatever you feel like.
Exactly,
That's great.
and again, growing up with such a variety of music,
Mm-hmm.
it just made it very hard for me to stick to just one thing. And so,
And your performance, are you doing mostly like, where do you perform? Are it like bars, corporate gigs?
so we do a mix.
Okay.
We do a mix. So we definitely do corporate gigs. So we do conferences, we do fundraisers, we do weddings, we do birthday parties, house parties, anniversaries. So we've done all of those already, and we've also done bar gigs. The reason why we choose to do this is because, again, it's great to have clients, right, that are willing to pay for that entertainment. But we also choose to do public shows because we want to be able to gain a fan base,
Sure.
right? And so that's the reason why that is because we also have our original projects. And so it's funny because even recently I was very torn because it kind of especially when you're trying to create a fan base or a following, it can create confusion because you have so many products that you're offering.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, are you a corporate band or are you an indie band, right? And
right.
it's like sometimes it can be very difficult to separate the two. And because some people want to hire you for services and other people want to hear your original music. So recently we're actually branching out into a sub-brand for specifically weddings, right? And we're going to start focusing on creating a brand just for that.
See, I can see why you're doing that too, because say for a wedding, they don't want a whole bunch of originals. They want songs they know
They want the
that
bangers.
to fill the dance
Exactly.
floor, right?
That's exactly
It's
right.
not a knock to any
No.
originals
No.
anyone's doing. It's just that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, weddings have that sort of a pretty standard playlist of,
And it sounds like
the father-daughter dance and,
Exactly.
there's, get all the old ladies dancing or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
right, kind of
So
thing.
yes, exactly, and just being able to
To
provide
Coolio or something like that,
provide that entertainment for them, right? Like
For
the
sure.
day is about them, right? And when it comes to the originals, well, it's about the story that you're sharing in the songs, right? And so one thing we are doing like a beta test right now, beta service is just to kind of blend the two in a way, but at the same time keep them separate, is we're starting to offer a service in which we write an original piece for the couple that decides to hire us.
Cool.
Oh,
So that
Wow.
way we're still bringing in an element of what we do
Yeah, sure.
while still making the focus on the couple.
That's pretty good.
right?
that's
cool.
impressive. I haven't heard of any bands doing that,
Me
you know,
neither.
for a wedding. That would be something really special to them.
Exactly.
And that would be their song, you know,
It would literally be their song.
which
right?
they're going to play for other people, and that introduces them to your music,
totally.
you know.
And if that song,
Smart.
if that song becomes like a hit or something, that's for them. That's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
You know
It
what
is.
I mean? That's really awesome.
Like, how special would
And
it
then they
be
sue
to
them.
do that, right?
Oh yeah, it's like a #1 song, and it's like, oh yeah, they wrote that for us.
Yeah,
be
exactly.
great.
It's
That would be
like,
wicked.
we were the inspiration for that
I know.
song.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
It seems like that would be difficult, though, to do, depending on how many weddings you're doing. You
Yes.
know, like,
So right now it is possible because we're still very new. So we're still trying to reach
How long have
our
you been
clients, right?
sort of
songwriting.
and kind of as a group?
Songwriting has been a part of my life forever.
Sure.
Since I was, again, in middle school is when I started to write songs. And sadly, a lot of the songs, or maybe thankfully, I lost a lot of that music. A lot of the songs that I wrote were lost back in Mexico. I didn't get to bring them back, and I have stacks. I had stacks of sheets of paper with lyrics in them, and I was so heartbroken. That
You
I
must
couldn't
have
bring
some of them in your head, though. No?
No, the moment the lyric comes into my head, I have to write it down because otherwise it's gone.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess
Because there's so much going on in my head all the time, so it's hard to.
I guess I can relate to that, because stand-up's the same way. It's like, I'll think of something funny. Oh, I should do that. I should use that. I should make a joke out of it. And then 5 minutes later, if I don't,
if I
it's
don't
gone.
write it down, I know it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we're gonna start doing original sessions with the band, and I was telling one of the guys, make sure that you're recording the entire session in case that something really good comes out and we immediately forget. We want to be able to have it in track.
Yeah.
Right, to work with, because sometimes good music is very spontaneous, right?
Well, Sweet Child of Mine was like that.
Yeah.
They were just riffing around while they were recording the album.
Yeah.
Wrote it in half a day.
Yeah,
And
there you
recorded
go.
it that same day.
Yeah.
Prince style.
Yeah.
Prince had his whole house set up where every room, bathroom, kitchen, wherever he was.
Had fentanyl. No, I'm sorry.
So,
I shouldn't say that. He was a genius.
he was a genius.
Cut it.
But no, in every room in his house, apparently, he had it set up, like mic'd.
Right.
Set to record. And he could just, like, voice, okay, record. And then he would, whatever little ditty he had, he always had his guitar with him, and he could just, like, diddly, 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 do. And then it would be recorded on his masters in, like, his studio or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you got that money, go for it. Buy it.
Yeah. When I open my own Paisley Park, I'll
When I start for Prince money.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Right?
Yeah, but that's basically what happens with me. Sometimes I'm laying in bed in the middle of the night, and I will sometimes even wake up in the middle of the night, and there will be a lyric in my head, right? And I was like, grab my phone and type it in to make sure that it's, because if I don't,
preserve it.
by the next morning, what was I thinking?
Right.
What was it? What was the
Right.
lyrics again? And right, so.
So circling back to that other original question, what's the weirdest, was it song or
Or
experience?
the weirdest gig you've done.
Yeah,
The
weirdest
weirdest experience. If you could pick the strangest place you've performed.
Strangest place to perform.
Not necessarily bad or good, just
different.
different.
you know?
Something.
Whether it's a location or for the, like, whatever the purpose was, like, have you played a funeral?
No, not yet.
Yeah. But not ruling it out.
Like, to give you an example of what we're saying, I remember one of my weirdest ones. I played a backyard in an empty house in the most remote town on Vancouver Island for like 7 people that lived in the town.
Oh.
Like, but bizarre.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was actually.
And I got paid in fish.
You got paid in fish?
Yeah.
What? Trade of services. Literally.
How much fish?
That's actually cool.
How much fish?
Just they fed us fish,
Oh,
but it was fresh caught,
okay.
they said. And it was worth it.
Worth the value. Yeah. Sometimes I wish we could go back. To
I can
that.
obviously be tempted with food. Let's face it.
I would be the same. Honestly, I have to really think hard because I'm very enthusiastic about everything that I do. You can even ask my business partner. Something that comes up, I get super excited about it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's like some remote place, like for example, a double birthday party that we did once. It was really far remote, and I always wonder, how did they find us, right? And I had such a great time. There were chickens, and you could hear the cows in the back, like, and then the farmers were telling us about, oh yeah, one of the sheep just had a baby, and I'm like, I want to go see, because I get so excited about just anything, right? And I just thought that was very, very special, and so I can't say I've ever had a weird gig yet.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
Now, with 4 Months of Jupiter, we've been performing, well, we've been together. We started performing just over a year ago.
Okay. Okay.
Is this your first band, or did you have other ones before this?
I
Or were
worked
you
in a
just
band
solo
before.
artist?
I performed in a band before, but again, the same thing. We never really had any weird gigs because we would do bar gigs and we would do festivals. Though there was one time, and this was it happened at a few different places. It happened It happened at a few different places where we would be performing, and then you have people in the audience just break into a fight, and then you have the cops show up and knock them down, and here I am singing, and I'm like freaking out with a microphone. I'm like, and just hoping that no one gets hurt, and I just get very, very scared naturally, and so those were the most, I guess, memorable gigs that I've had before. But this is not something that I've experienced with 4 Months of Jupiter.
Okay.
Not yet.
Hopefully
But I'll be
never.
coming to a gig, and I'll be
Hopefully
starting
never.
some fights.
No, don't. Get out. You're cut off.
Have you ever
I'm here
experienced a fight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I've had it happen too, and I mean the ideal for the venue is that you want to try to draw the attention away from it. That's what they want, right?
Yes, and that's what we were trying to do,
yeah,
right?
That's what they want, but that's in their minds. That's not going to happen. I mean, let's face it, if UFC has taught us anything, doesn't matter what else is going on. If people start fighting, everybody's just like, yeah, fight, you know.
Sure.
It was hard though, because like in this one particular place, it was during my
Like
break.
I've had people try to fight me during
gosh.
shows once.
Well, you were performing?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh no.
And
I mean,
me.
That would be hey, buddies.
And that's how guys become best friends.
That's how it works.
It's funny because
Still banned from all my gigs, though.
Yeah. That's why we're doing it here.
it's
I can't
independent,
go
it's separate, yeah.
Can't see him live anymore.
It's funny because like my boyfriend and I had a conversation about this before, where like sometimes guys will just like fight it out, and the moment the fight is over and they're tired or whatever, they're like, okay, do you want to go out for a beer?
Yeah,
let's go. And it's like nothing ever happened, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's I want to say for us, but I'm not a fighter, so I can't say for me. But for guys, really, it's more of a sport than anything. You know?
sure.
It's
good times.
it's just not ideal for for shows that are
No.
going on.
no.
What was the inspiration and the sort of story behind your current name?
4 Months of Jupiter?
Yeah. Where did that sort of spawn from?
It's funny because we get asked that a lot.
Okay.
And it's funny because Peter, my business partner, he's always like redirecting it to me. Ask the person who came up with the name.
Okay.
And so I just we laugh about it, right? Just because when we first sat down together, him and one of the questions I asked him was like, how does 4 Months of Jupiter sound as a band name? And he's like, sure, we can do it. And it came to fruition. So it was funny.
I really think it sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, I got no problems with that name. That's a great name.
Thank you. It's a huge conversation starter, I find. But where it came from is so the planet Jupiter, right?
Mm-hmm.
The largest planet in our solar system. It's literally a gas planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a constant storm that never ends, right? So I like to use that as a symbolism of just a party, right? Like a nice, very solid, just fun party that just never ends, right? Pure, the definition of euphoria.
Okay.
And Jupiter has a total of 95 moons, but 4 of them.
95.
No,
I
right?
was way off when I said like 14.
I initially thought that it had around 200.
Oh wow.
I thought that, but then I did my research properly and it's 95.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought 4, and that was based on your name.
Well,
not only the title but also facts.
Yeah. So I was thinking, they're educational as well.
I do value education. I used to work as a teacher assistant for some time. Anyways.
So are there 4 of you in the band? Are you a 4-piece?
No, we're a 5-piece. And
So
we're
there's
always...
one person sitting there going, "What the?
Where am I? No.
Am I the asteroid?"
No, so the reason why I picked 4 moons of Jupiter is because there's 4 moons in particular that stand out. Now, not only do they stand out because of their size, it's also because they're intentionally grouped together, and they're known as the Galilean moons.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they're called the Galilean moons is because Galileo Galilei discovered them first. And
Okay.
that's how he found out that planets are round. Flat earthers, please don't come at me.
It's only Earth. Everything else is round.
Everything else is
Just
round. That's right.
Just truth be told.
Facts.
Yeah, facts. Only facts.
And so, anyway, so I like the idea, and I actually found that out after, and I thought that was so interesting. So I started to consider our fan base as the stargazers who discover us as the formats of Jupiter.
Oh.
So it kind of works,
Oh,
right?
neat. Okay.
Right? So I was like, oh yeah, because they're watching for us. They're discovering us, just as Galileo Galilei discovered the
Cool.
moons, right? So it worked out.
Well, they're
as formats
discovering
of
4
Jupiter.
of you. 1 of you they're leaving behind.
I promise you,
When-
it does not represent each member. The number 4 is just
It sounded good.
it's just to kind of like add a number, and again, it's just the aspect of saying the Galilean moons without saying the Galilean moons, right? And
Gotcha.
it's worked out in a way that it sparks a conversation, and it's like 4 moons of Jupiter sounds cool, but why 4? Right?
Yeah.
It's always a conversation, right? So
One thing I like about it, it doesn't give away the genre either.
no.
Like as an example of what I'm saying, Slayer, for example, that gives away the genre, right? You know exactly what you're getting from that name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Guns N' Roses or
Yes.
any of these bands, Celine Dion,
Garbage.
you know what you're getting.
What do you mean garbage? No.
Don't worry, your heart will go on. But 4 moons of Jupiter, it raises questions. It could go many ways. So that's a good thing, that you're automatically creating interest right off the bat.
Exactly. So, and that's what I wanted to create is a curiosity, right? A conversation. And based from that, then people can discover what it is that we can bring into the table.
Cool. Very cool. Don't know what those hands
I don't either. It looked like Corey was throwing up gang symbols over there.
You gotta look
Back
this
behind the
way a
camera.
little more into the camera.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I'm gonna
Which camera?
say.
This one?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, very good.
I like to talk to people's faces. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to look away while I'm having a
It
conversation.
does look weird when you're doing that, when you're talking to somebody. So anyway, tell me more about it.
Literally. Oh, it is very strange.
Hey, Paul, what do you think?
I don't know, Joe. Kind of weird. I have another question
Mhm.
out there. If you were trapped in an elevator with any celebrity, who would you want to be trapped with?
Christina Aguilera.
Okay. Why?
I love her voice. I love
a major
her
influence
style.
for you?
Yeah,
Mm.
I grew up with her music, and like the first album that I really paid attention to, that I listened to, was Back to Basics,
Okay.
and it rocked my world. And so I love her vocals. I love her just just
She's an
everything
amazing
about her.
singer.
She's
I mean, there's no
amazing,
denying
right?
that.
I love her voice, and so I'd be just there just to admire her and just be like, "Can you sing a song while we wait for the fire department to come help us?" Maybe I can grab some tips.
I just love to see a conversation between her and Mariah Carey, just over who can bounce the note the most. You know, there's just
Right.
And just go wild. Yeah, no, honestly, they're
Well, the other
They're incredible
here's the other
singers.
half of that
Yeah.
question.
Who is someone you would not want to be trapped in an elevator with?
Somebody famous.
Whether, yeah.
I think we should each answer this.
Oh, I think there's probably like the top 3 for sure.
I don't know. Honestly, I cannot.
You don't have to worry because they're probably not watching. Whoever it is.
No, I sincerely don't have a person in particular. Just because a lot of the times, look, for example, with Christina Aguilera, I love her vocals, but I
Sure.
don't know her personality,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, and not only that, she can display a certain personality on social media, but at the end of the day, is that one-on-one conversation.
Yeah.
right?
Don't be your
Yeah,
hero.
she can Ellen it.
Exactly,
Basically.
right?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to celebrities, it's hard to say who I would and who I wouldn't want to be, just because I don't know what they're actually like. They're still strangers to me.
Sure.
I will know them as a stage person,
Mhm.
right? But I will never know what they're actually like.
Sure.
So you look
In
for
real
the
life.
person behind, kind of thing, which is
I have more
Which is
interest.
good.
I have more interest in that.
rather than
And
following the Hollywood
yeah,
Mm.
And-
agenda.
yeah, just because again, I'll at the end of the day, for a lot of artists, we're just trying to find ways to market ourselves. Now, celebrities don't really need to do that because they're already there,
Yeah.
right? But they still have to put a certain persona up front, just because it's so easy for them to be twisted from someone else's perspective and just tear them apart and cancel them,
Well,
right?
especially someone like Aguilera, who's been around for
Forever.
Well,
not forever, but-
Since the
like
90s,
30
she
years.
was a
Yeah,
Mickey
30.
Mouse kid in the
Right,
90s.
yeah, right. So yeah.
Yeah, so
A
like
Musketeer.
Yeah.
so people like celebrities like that have to be very careful of what they put out, right? And
Sure.
they have a PR team in case that something does come out a little, and even still when they have a PR team,
Mhm.
things can still fall apart, right? I mean, we're gonna talk about Rachel Zegler from Snow White.
I was just
Right?
about to mention
She is-
that.
She's under fire right now.
Oh.
I haven't even seen the interview. I have no idea what's happening with her, but she's canceled.
Oh, yeah, she
The
is.
poor woman.
She
I
is.
feel terrible.
All I can
because the
say
internet
about
is
that-
so brutal.
I watched Snow White. I actually watched it. I watched the movie. No, I didn't pay for it. I watched a cam version online. I'm gonna admit that, but I don't know what all the fuss is about with the wokeness with Rachel Ziegler and why there's such a huge backlash about that. When the simple fact is, it's just an awful, awful movie. Like
Mm.
it is that bad.
Mhm.
I believe it.
But I mean, everybody's attacking her. She didn't write the script. You know,
I think
mean,
it's not to do with the script in particular.
No, it's
There's other things outside of the movie
it's the
that.
desecration of the original. That's what people are pissed off about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is how they're shitting all over
well, it's one part of it.
all
for
over
sure.
one of the most treasured and one of the most influential movies of all time. It was the first animated movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it was a trailblazer, and it still holds up to this day.
Yes.
You can show that to a little kid, and that's what it is with that. But that is so far off the topic of Four Moons of Jupiter.
You're
for
gonna
us-
be going through rabbit holes with me. That's
Mhm.
something to
Yeah,
expect.
I really don't want to be another show discussing Rachel Ziegler. And
No.
Snow White.
No, we
No.
need to let that go.
It's already taken over YouTube.
So would that be on Aguilera, would you consider her an inspiration? What would be who's a big
As
inspiration?
a vocalist, she is.
What about as business and sort of like,
Well, definitely.
okay.
As a business person, right? I mean, she's successful
Yeah.
and she's got a team,
Mhm.
right? So, yes, absolutely, right? Like to be able to make a living to do music, right? And still be able to continue to provide fans with music. It's
Do you
Oh my
perform
God.
any of her songs?
I did before with the previous band. With this band, I didn't get to do it just because there's so many great songs out there that it's so hard to narrow down. Eventually we will bring Christina Aguilera back again into our own set because we are always adding music to our set list anyway, and so it is something that is in the books for the future.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was watching a band doing cover songs and they busted out Christina Aguilera, I'd be pretty impressed. You know, that's not an easy task.
No,
No.
That's
it's a tall order.
It's not like playing Trooper, you know, or
Yeah.
what's another standard that they play, like, you know, an AC/DC song or something like that. And I'm not downplaying those songs, but those kind of vocals, you know, are impressive.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Hard to pull off.
100%. Same thing with like Tori Kelly. Tori Kelly is, ooh, she's
Tori Kelly.
she's a monster with her vocals. She's incredible as well.
Oh, I think I.
Everybody's got a thing.
Yep. She did a voice on the Sing movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, did she? I've watched.
She's
I
she's
watched
the
both
elephant
Sing
in the
movies.
Sing movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The elephant was.
She's
No, she was the bomb in that. Yeah. She was like, I think she was an American Idol
Yes.
Yes.
runner
okay.
up or something. Like she got pretty
Right.
high in the
bathroom.
Later.
She got pretty high in the bathroom
Yes.
before doing her American Idol.
No.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this.
Not at all. No, but she is.
I
she's
swear
over
I'm
there.
talking to a fucking koala bear, man.
Oh, God.
Are you? Do you? You really off there.
With this trunk, I can sure do a rip. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Do you? Is singing your primary occupation and all your focus is in that, or is it just the sort of like
I wish.
what's the means to an end then?
So currently, I still have a full-time job. I work in emergency services and customer service over the phone.
Thank you for your
So-
service.
I'm a smooth operator.
No need to ask.
No. So yes, I take care of customers over the phone for different services, and so that's my current job for the day. It's great. For me, it doesn't take a lot of mental effort because it's very much repetition.
Yes.
And I'm with a very fantastic company as well. I'm very, very happy. I'm very grateful for that. And so,
And you are working from home.
yes,
Wonderful.
I work from home. And so I do that. I also work part-time for an agency as a virtual assistant. I do bookkeeping, social media management, as well as email management and HoneyBook setup. And so I don't do
What's the last one?
HoneyBook setup. So, but HoneyBook is a platform for businesses to be able to track communications with clients and create pipelines of where a client is and the projects and
Okay.
being able to send proposals, invoices, and just basically having it's a lot of things involved with HoneyBook. But it basically allows you to kind of set up a very professional presentation of communication with the client, and that way it helps gain more trust with the client. It also helps as a business owner to not do so many things yourself, because a lot of the things that you get to do are automated,
Sure.
right? And so it takes a lot of the work off your mind, and it allows for the automations to take care of the communications with the client.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it takes a little bit of time to set it up once it's set it up, then it kind of runs itself.
Roger.
Wow.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's
Well,
wonderful.
I'm sold.
I know, right? I have HoneyBook myself.
Nice.
So, yes. And so I do that. And I am also currently studying brand design because that's what I want to focus on completely. And just because that's what I actually enjoy doing. And so it takes a little bit of time to get it finished, and because it's self-paced, so I get to do it whenever I have an opportunity to. And I'm also a mom.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How old?
She's turning 3.
So
No,
is
you.
mine.
How old? No, I'm
I know, I'm kind of childish.
turning 3. That's great.
Yes.
Where, so is mine in June.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
They could be buddies.
I know.
Hmm.
Yeah. I actually had a full beard today and shaved it, and I scared her.
I can see that happening. Did you record that?
I know, because that's been the third time that's been asked, but it's like that's not my go-to. Just like
Reaction
no,
recording?
No, I never pick up the phone to record anything in life. I'd rather watch
Just
it.
live it.
Just live your life.
Just live it. No, it's not.
I understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to record some of the things just because I want to be able to keep those memories, right?
Fair.
So,
No, that's fair. But that's when I won't forget. 'Cause I made her cry.
oh, poor thing.
But then she kind of figured out that it was really. So,
Okay, that's fantastic.
yeah.
My boyfriend shaved his mustache after he had it for a very long time too, and she looked at him at first and she's like, like unsure, and then she was fine. She didn't cry or anything. I was like, oh,
It was
you took
probably
quite
one of
well.
those things she was used to queuing in on.
Yeah.
You know, one of the first things to recognize. The same with your beard.
Well,
probably.
it was
Well, the beard is also the whole
it was
face.
pretty big, and so it definitely threw her off because she definitely was like, I know
Wow.
you, but I don't know what's going on there.
You have a chin? What's
Yeah.
that?
Nobody ever brings up, like I shaved today, nobody ever brings
I
it
know.
up. The only thing I ever get is, what are you doing in my bathroom? Who are you? Why are you in my house?
It's happened so many times now. It's becoming a problem.
It is. Neighborhood Watch has photos.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy? There's just a bunch of shaving cream.
When's your next show?
Our next show is at the venue in Cochrane on April 18th and 19th.
April 18th and 19th.
So it'll be during the Easter weekend.
And what's the venue in Cochrane?
That's the name of the venue.
Oh, okay.
the
The
venue.
venue.
Wow.
So it's very easy to spot.
Where can people
Yeah.
get tickets?
There's no tickets. It's
Like a private
Oh,
function?
it's not a private function. It's a public show, so people can just go and join
Okay.
us and have a good
What's
time.
it for?
It's just a public show.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no. It's just to again connect with people,
Yeah,
connect
just
with the audience.
Come have a good
Yeah.
time, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a bar gig.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. And you do like 2 nights you're performing there. That's cool. At the venue in
The
Cochrane.
venue.
Be there.
It's a great place.
18th and 19th.
Great place.
But it's too bad you weren't called the band. And it'd be like,
The
the
band
band is
at-
playing at the venue.
I think there is a band called Just the Band.
There is.
though, right?
They're
JC
very,
band?
very famous.
Yeah, I was like,
The band.
What's the name?
no, I haven't.
Yes.
Hey, you know, we
And we're
gotta-
gonna put a link to the song as
Thank
well.
you.
So
Yeah,
that-
of course.
we'll have that in the comments down below.
Tell
We'll
us
have a
what
link.
The song's about. What's the title?
Oh God. Oh,
Come
we're
on,
gonna
we
go.
gotta- we gotta
We're gonna
know.
go.
Yes, let's-
raw now.
No, we got to discuss this.
Yes.
This-
Okay.
What's
It's
the
important.
single
Look
called?
towards the camera.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
What's the single
This-
called?
look at
Where
me.
can they download it?
There, that's better.
Could we also get a little sample?
Yeah. What's the name of that song?
The song is called Four Months of Jupiter. That's a band. Sorry. A lot of
See,
people.
you would
confuse us
know
with-
this better than we would. So,
It's funny because a lot of people confuse us with Drops of Jupiter, the song, and we're like, no, no, Four Months of Jupiter. That's who we are.
but
No.
now that we're back in the atmosphere,
Yes. I'm sorry. I like to sidetrack.
that's, no,
uh,
that's a line from Drops of Jupiter.
oh wow. Sorry.
Deep cut.
Dang, I'm slow.
No,
I tell you, man.
no, trust me, nobody's gonna go, oh, she doesn't know her train? She doesn't know her train songs. Okay, I'm not checking this out. Nobody's gonna do that. Don't worry.
That's true.
The song we screened it earlier. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us about it.
Yes.
You know, sorry, don't tell us about it. Tell them about it
Yeah.
Yes.
and where they can get it.
Yes. So, Closing the Door is the name of the song. I actually wrote the song 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. I wrote the song 10 years ago after a breakup. Typical, I know. So, Taylor Swift. Don't cry.
It got me though. That got me.
Yes.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah.
So where can they get the song?
So the song can be heard on all platforms. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on Amazon Music. It's pretty much everywhere.
And it's
We're
just
also gonna be. It's
Under
also
your name or Four Moons of Jupiter?
4 Moons of Jupiter.
Four Moons of Jupiter.
Yes,
The name of the song?
Close the door.
Closing the Door.
Closing the door by Four Moons of Jupiter.
Yes, and so the cool thing is it's already added in a Spotify playlist already. It's already been approved by a radio station in Alberta.
Nice.
So feel free to request it.
Have you made a video for it yet?
Just
is
a
that
lyric.
in the works?
Just a lyric,
a lyric
video,
video?
for now. Yeah.
Can they get that on YouTube?
Yes, it's on YouTube. So people can
Perfect.
listen to the song and read the lyrics as the song plays. That way they can hear what's being said in the song, just because I do have a little bit of an accent, so things can be a little bit hard to understand a little bit. So my apologies. But that's one place where you can hear the song. So again, the same thing. It's the same title, Four Moons of Jupiter, Closing the Door. And in the future, we will be releasing more songs. And the exciting thing is this time, everyone in the band will be on board with those
Beautiful.
songs. So,
Cool.
Perfect.
yeah. So thank you again so much for having me.
Hey,
I had
thank
such
you
a
for
great
being
time.
here.
Thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We had a great time as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
you.
we're going to go rock out to Four Moons of Jupiter after this.
Sounds good.
Quick note, if when you're doing the multilingual stuff, when you go into the Spanish stuff, if you need like a pit bull guy, I'll be there for you. I can be your pit bull. Miami.
I'll definitely
I'll
consider that.
All I'll do is promote Miami.
I'll do the Khaled thing. Another one.
GT. All you do is win. Another banger.
Another.
But okay, well, thank you, Jenni Heaven, Four Moons of Jupiter. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for joining us in the video. If you enjoyed the video, folks, or even if you didn't, please hit that like button. I know everybody says it, but
You
hey,
better like the video.
it only takes you a second to do it. It doesn't cost you a cent, but it makes all the difference in the world to us. So please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That'll let you know every time a new video drops, so that you can see it right away. And folks, let us know in the comments below what you thought of the video. Let us know what you thought of the songs. Check out the song and let us know. You can put that
I'd love
in
to hear your thoughts.
the comments. We'll have the link down below for you. Scan our shirts. Check them out. We scan these shirts. You'll see them.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
don't
share,
have
and
it,
subscribe.
sorry.
yeah, like, share, subscribe, and bow down to me.
Okay, AI.
I don't know why I
Are
said
you
that.
the AI now?
I apparently so. I don't even know why I said that. I'm just off the rails now.
Yeah, he lost it.
This is what it means to have fun, you know?
Yeah, no, it's all right.
It's because I was in the bathroom with the elephant.